Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have some new first impressions makeup to show you, so let's get right into this video. So right now we're gonna get started. So I have my fries here, I have my TV, and we're just gonna hop right into it. So first I will be taking my e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer today, and I just usually use this primer. I haven't gotten around to get new samples of primers yet, but soon that will be coming. Today I have some new face products to show you guys, so that is why I decided to do this video. So right here I was just watching some Hulu, honestly, to keep me company. So yeah, that's basically just primer for you. So now I'm going to take my Maybelline Fit Me loose powder in the shade Deep, 35 Deep, and just put that over the areas where I usually get oily. I don't really have oily skin in the winter, but since this is a full coverage tutorial, I just put that over, you know, where I would get oily after a period of time or sweaty. So I put that on my forehead, my cheeks, and like around my smile lines, because that usually breaks apart in an instant. So yeah, that's basically all I'm doing, and listening to the theme song of my show. And now I'm just spritzing my face with the Milani Make It Last setting spray, nothing new really, and just ensuring that I'm still getting a sense of hydration in. So now we're going in with my Covergirl Full Spectrum foundation, soft matte foundation, and I forget the exact shade. It's not here with me right now, but I will be sure to put it down below. And I'm just dotting this all around my face, kind of focusing on my mouth area where I get some discoloration there. And I used one whole pump, and honestly this stuff goes it doesn't go a long way. It actually is very buildable, which I really appreciate, because it is a very soft matte foundation. You can still see, even me blending it out, you can still see my scars underneath. And yeah, it doesn't take a lot to cover majority of your scars or anything, but it takes some blending and some more application. So I would suggest using a brush for the application and not a sponge, because honestly, I feel like if you use a sponge, you would be using way more product that you needed to. But as you can see, it blends out so nicely. And honestly, this is one of the best foundation matches that I've ever gotten in a drugstore foundation, that is. The top two are the Fit Me foundation and this foundation. So I added another half pump of that foundation around some spot areas that I have more hyperpigmentation, and just, around my mouth where that usually gets dark, and I'm just blending all of that out to prepare for the next step. So now I'm going to take my ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Deep Dark 52. This is literally no new thing, except for the foundation is one of the first impressions that I have for you guys. And this is just to correct, so I put it directly underneath my eyes and around my mouth. And while that is drying down, I will fill in my brows with the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Ebony. And this is kind of just a nice, I guess, soft glam look. If I'm feeling to actually put on foundation and put on a whole face, but not really any eyeshadow or anything, I will usually gravitate towards this look. But on a daily basis, I usually just pop on some concealer and call it a day. But yeah, this is just me applying my brows, and as you guys know, I don't have that much work to do, thankfully, but just to add a little bit more definition and stuff. So yeah. Now that I am done with my brows, I just finished blending out my correcting concealer. And now I will go in with my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer in the shade Mahogany, and this is just my highlight shade. And I'll just take that on my forehead, my nose, my under my eyes obviously, and my chin. And I'll just let that rest for a little bit. And as I do that, I'll take a bite of my food, just watch a little bit more TV, and then honestly, once I've eaten 4 good fries, I'll go back in and blend out my concealer. So the process is usually doing the eyes last, kind of letting the eyes set in a little bit so I get the most coverage that I can. If it's a low coverage, I guess you would say, low coverage day, I won't do my eyes last. I'll kind of do them first, to be honest. Do everything at once. But yeah, this is just me blending out my concealer. No huge thing necessarily. So this is another kind of new product. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in Medium Deep. And I know this isn't new because I have the Fit Me Loose Powder in Deep, but this is just a new shade, a highlighting shade that I'm trying out. So as you can see, I'm just taking off all the excess because I don't do baking that much, especially this is light. I'm kind of intimidated by the light color, so I kind of go in little by little. It's easier to apply a little and add more than to, you can't really take it away at all. So I am just setting my under eyes, my smile lines, and then I will go in on my forehead as well. Just set the highlighted points. Wherever I put the Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer, I will highlight with this powder. And as you can see, I kind of went ham on the forehead, but it's okay. We'll blend that out later, so it's not that big of a deal. So I am just spritzing my face again with that Milani Make It Last setting spray just to melt everything into my face as we go along, not letting anything dry down too fast. And then I'll go back in with my sponge just to, again, melt everything into my face and kind of mixing it, not mixing it, but like melting it into my foundation as well, so we have a nice gradient instead of just a sharp jagged line. So now I'm going to go in with my full spectrum powder foundation as a bronzer. I think this is in Deep Cool 1. I'll have to double check. I'll have the information down below as per usual, but I realized when I was in Walgreens it was too dark for me, but I didn't want to put it back because Walgreens had those orange tags saying that they were either discontinuing it or just, you know, taking it out of the store. And these powder foundations were like $1.50, so I had to get it. So my friend told me you could just use it as a bronzer, and then in the summer you can use it as a powder foundation. So I opted to do that, and honestly, this is an amazing shade. It's a very soft powder, finely milled, as I can kind of see, because when I was swatching the powder, it felt very soft, very buttery, and very pigmented. So I really appreciated the quality of the powder. So now I'm gonna go back in with my Fit Me in Medium Deep and just kind of carve out my jawline area, kind of make it look like a nice gradient. So I'm just taking my big fluffy brush. I'm not really baking that into my skin at all. Now I am taking my e.l.f. blush in Brick Red, I believe. Again, this color is going to be linked down below. And these e.l.f. blushes are so pigmented. So I just took the same fluffy brush and it nicely distributes that nice deep cranberry color just on my cheeks, and I put some on my nose to give a little flush. So I remembered to find my brow gel because I couldn't find it before, so I'm putting my ABH brow gel in Ebony just to keep those eyebrow hairs in place. So yeah. Now I'm taking some of that full spectrum powder foundation into my crease area just to warm up my eyes a little bit. I blended up my foundation and concealer onto my eyelid and also set the area with some loose powder. And so I'm just gonna define my outer crease with some powder foundation. Now I am using my Wet n Wild highlighter in the shade Golden Flower Crown, and this is just a nice kind of white gold shade, not silvery but white gold, and it gives me the perfect amount of highlight. It's not too glittery, it's not too chunky, it gives me a nice satin finish and just creates the perfect gradient from my blush, from my bronzer to my blush to my base and then to my highlighter. And I just wanted to emphasize it a little bit more. That day, yesterday was Friday, that's when I filmed, and I kind of wanted to blind the haters a little bit, so I added like 2 layers of highlighter, and here I am just highlighting my inner corner as well and my nose, so just to make it pop in the natural light and when I'm outside. Now I'm just adding the final touches to my base. I'm adding a little bit more bronzer. I was feeling I looked kind of light when in person it looked kind of light in the mirror, so I was just kind of revisiting it and revisiting the bronzing and kind of deepening up my complexion a little bit. And then I added some mascara. This is the Get Big Lashes mascara by Essence, and this is one of the mascaras that I use on the daily. Basically, I reach for it the most. It ensures that I get voluminous lashes. The only thing I don't like about it is that it spreads over time and it's kind of a wet formula, but I like it for the time being. And I'm taking my brown chocolate liner by the Sephora collection. I think this is in the shade Tiramisu. I'll obviously fact check that for you guys, and I'm just lining my upper lash line and kind of blending that into my lash line just to give my eyes a little bit more dimension, and also blending penciling in my waterline just to give my eyes a little bit more depth for the day. And this liner is waterproof. It's you have to sharpen it, but it's waterproof and it lasts a very long time, and I truly love that pencil and would go back and buy more in more colors, definitely. Now I'm putting on some Vaseline. This is in the Rosy Lips scent / flavor. Just putting that on as lip balm, and then lining my lips with the Maybelline Color Sensational retractable lip pencil in the shade Raw Chocolate. I think it's either in 118 or 113. Of course, I'll fact check that for you guys, but I know the shade is in Raw Chocolate, and I also have the lipstick in Raw Chocolate as well. But I'm just lining my lips because I want to add some depth to my lips. I literally can't speak. I want to add some depth to my lips for the next step, which is just gloss. This is my Neutrogena Lip Shine gloss with some SPF in there. I don't know what flavor it is, but it is a very moisturizing gloss. Very shiny, but a natural sheen, not like an overly shiny, overly sticky gloss, and it has a very nice smell and it tastes great. So yeah. So now I'm giving my face one last spritz with the Milani Make It Last setting spray and melting everything into my face now with my big body blender sponge by Real Techniques, and this just helps that my makeup lasts long. It looks smooth. There's little to no texture except for any active breakouts that I might have, and it just, you know, looks great. It makes me look less powdery even. So yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first impressions video. And yeah, I hope you don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and click that notification bell so you get updated when I upload. So see you in the next video. Bye.